Well, back on the Kayla Fan Awards red carpet with Tasha Layton. Tasha, how are you doing?
I'm doing so good. I'm so thankful the cicadas are not diving at us right now.
Yeah, I know it's been kind of brutal here. Are you in Nashville?
I'm in Thompson Station, so man, I have needed a tennis racket to get out to my car. I'm over it.
So being nominated tonight for Female Artist of the Year and Worship Through It is nominated as well, right?
I don't know. It just came out, so it hasn't even been out long enough to be nominated
Sure.
for anything. But yes,
Well, let's just put it out there. Well, being the Fan Awards, when you hear stories from people who your ministry and your music has impacted, what does it mean to you to hear those stories?
Oh, it's everything. I mean, it's the whole point and reason we're doing this. So to hear the testimonies of what God is doing is like, it's just fuel for your fire. It's not the spark, because you can't be swayed by what people say, whether it's testimonies or good feedback or bad feedback. You can't let the words of man sway you. But it definitely fuels the fire when you get a testimony, and it just stirs up faith. And so I'm so thankful, and that's my favorite part of the night, is standing at the table listening to people's stories.
We spoke with a gentleman yesterday named Walter, and did you meet Walter? Do you know him?
I'm not sure. Well,
He was at the book event yesterday, but
yes, I did meet a Walter, so
Okay.
I don't know if it's the same one.
That's fine. But he was telling me his story. He was a drug addict for about 15 years, and how your ministry and your songs and your book have impacted him. And his question that he was kind of wanting to ask you was, what was that moment for you in your life where you decided, you know what, I'm going to go after God? And what was that like for you when you made that decision?
Well, I had a couple of those moments. The first one was just, it's part of my testimony. I had a lowest of low moment where I tried to take my life, and God met me in that place. And that was a turning point for me. And so I think on a personal level, that was huge. And then years later, when I started doing what I do now, I think I fought against being an artist for a long time. I had worked for other artists, been a background singer, been in music, but I didn't want people to think of me what maybe I knew they thought of other artists on the narcissism scale or whatever. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm just being real right. But I didn't want that, and I fought against it for so long, and my husband sat me down and he said, I really think you're fighting the call of God on your life. And when he said that, he said, I think you need to go away and pray. And I did, and God showed me I was fighting against it, sure enough.
It's funny. It's funny how we kind of answer for God before we actually ask God.
Yeah, we totally do that. Why do we do that?
I don't know. I do it too. Well, Tasha, it was wonderful talking with you again. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful night.
Thanks for having me.
And
You guys too.